What's up guys, welcome to another video. Today I thought we should talk about the assault rifles in particular and see where they sit and what TTK they have, what's the best TTK, what's the worst TTK, some weighted DPS based on optimal TTK and the traits of the guns. First, let's start with the M433, which has a base damage, or should I say point blank to 9 meters damage of 25 damage and 4 shots on a body with 100 HP. This goes down to 5 shots when you hit the 22 meters and then further goes down to 70.5 damage if you go further than 75, or should I say 76 meters in range. The RPM sits really high at 830, and as you can see it has one of the best optimal TTKs of 0.217 and the slowest is 0.362 seconds. The weighted DPS is also very high for a gun like this, since it has a big RPM number plus combined with base damage, you get that. The trait for this gun would be simply a really good gun for close combat with good damage and good RPM. The only downside of this is the recoil, which can get a little too jumpy, but if you have enough skill and if you have the right attachments, you can delay that, or should I say put it on a level where you can control it. Moving on to the B36 A4, same as the previous gun, 25 base damage, which is 4 shots going down to 5 shots just like previously, and 20 damage on the body going down to 17.5 damage and 6 shots with 720 RPM. The optimal TTK is a bit down on this one, obviously slower RPM, and the slowest TTK goes up a bit. DPS will go down to 300, as you can see, simply because of that RPM, just like we talked about. But if I could say anything about this gun, is that this gun is actually decent across all ranges with decent stats. Moving to the SOR, which is basically the SCAR, let's face it. 25 damage, 4 shots, nothing in particular changes, same 20 damage, 5 shots. When you hit that 30 meters range, then it goes down to 17.5 and 6 shots. RPM is a bit low on this one, 568 RPM, and an optimal TTK, which you can say that is the worst out of the assault rifles, and the slowest TTK as well, 0.528. DPS is also quote-unquote terrible. But here's the catch, guys, about this gun. This gun has extra low recoil and a very fast bullet velocity. The RPM makes it so controllable, but the problem is that you can't use it in close range combat. But that's not the issue. This gun has a purpose, and the purpose is to fight something, or someone should I say, that is mid to long range. This gun is absolutely a beast. One of my absolute favorites. I thought I would dislike it, but actually I really love it. I have it at max level and I always play it. Moving on to the AK-4D. Amazing heavy hitters, guys, in the next two guns. 33.5 damage, which means a 3-shot kill up until 22 meters, guys. In the range of point blank to 21 meters, you have a 3-shot kill, which goes down when you hit that 22 meters range to 4 shots, and obviously it would go down to 20 damage and 5 shots at long ranges nearly 76 meters, 75.5 meters. That's the range. The RPM is 514, which is very controllable. The optimal TTK is absolutely great, and the slowest TTK is up there in the 400s, as you can see. Weighted DPS based on optimal TTK as well in the 200s. It loses that weighted DPS because of the slow RPM. A heavy hitter with decent recoil, good across all ranges. Then we get the best TTK gun in the whole game, I believe. The only, well, it's not the best TTK weapon, it's the best TTK assault rifle. So the best TTK weapon, I think it's the SMG. I'm gonna cover the SMGs later on because it has that bigger RPM. But the TR7 also hits 33.5 damage. 3 shots to the body without any headshots. 4 shots when you hit that 22 mark, and 20 damage 5 shots. Amazing TTK of 0.167, and slowest TTK is 0.333. Weighted DPS is highest out of the assault rifles, and like I said, this is the top one TTK assault rifle probably in the game right now. If they don't add a particular assault rifle that will change it, this is the top one assault rifles. The only downside is that it's really uncontrollable, no matter the attachments, no matter the skill. Even in single fire, sometimes it's really hard to control. So use it at your own advantage or disadvantage, should I say. It's up to you. But when it comes to close range combat, this is the gun you should use. Then we have the cord. Oh god, this gun, everyone loves this gun, dude. It's so popular. 900 RPM, 20 damage, 5 shots, insane drop to 14.5 damage and 7 shots with, like I said, 900 RPM. The optimal TTK is up there in the middle numbers. Then you have the slowest TTK, which is not all that bad. It's actually, the further you go away with the cord, the better the gun gets, in a way. Not that it's bad in close range, but it kind of gets better as you move further from the target, because in closer ranges you have somewhat better options sometimes, quote unquote, sometimes. Weighted DPS of 300, like I said, popular among players, very high RPM with great accuracy, but sometimes weird recoil jumps and random bloom, I suppose, but it's still top 3 assault rifles, I should say that. Moving on to the NVO, 33.5 damage, 3 shots, but there's a catch. These shots don't prolong until 22, or should I say 21 meters. It's only in the 9 meter range. When you go over 9 meters, guys, you get 27.5 damage. 4 shots, whether it be 25 damage or 27.5. So if you're close, the NVO is actually good. The further you move, the worse the gun gets. 21.5, weird numbers, I have to say. For 22 to 35 meters in range, then it goes to 20 in 36 to 50, and the same for 51 to 75. Then it goes down to the regular 17.5 damage in 6 shots. 654 RPM. Optimal TTK, obviously it's gonna be really low because of that 3 shots potential, plus you add the RPM, it's gonna be even better than the AK-4D. Obviously slowest TTK up from the middle ranges down to the kind of worse, I should say. But it is what it is, right? When you compare the two, you get somewhat a very big difference, guys. Very big difference, but it is what it is. Weighted DPS based on optimal TTK up in the 365s. A great gun for CQC. Like I said, close combat, it's gonna be a good gun, but when you leave that 9-meter range, this gun actually performs bad, or poor should I say. Some people use it. In the beta it was a pretty good gun, and then after the beta, like I barely see any people using it. And on to the last assault rifle, the L85 A3. Same as the most of the assault rifles, 25 damage, 4 shots, 25, 4 shots. Then we get like a drop at 36 to 50, 20 damage, 5 shots, 5 shots again, and then 70.56 shots. 335 RPM. It's not great. It's a decent gun for mid-range, but overshadowed by better choices. The weighted DPS is 264.5, and obviously optimal TTK and slowest TTK, it's gonna be around the numbers where you don't like them, I should say. But that's it for this video, guys. I really wanted to be kind of short on this. My recommendations would be use the cord for close and mid-range. Use the SCAR, or should I say the SOR, for mid to long range. I really recommend the TR7. It's one of the best, not one of the best, it's one and only. It's the best TTK assault rifle out there. So if you can control it, manage the recoil, stuff like that, you should pick this gun for close range. I would actually play the AK-4D as well, because I really like this gun, but it's getting overshadowed by other picks. But if you get those attachments, you should actually go for the AK-4D. B36 was one of my favorite guns, if not my favorite gun of the whole beta, but now it's just decent, overshadowed by many other better choices, even in SMGs, even in carbines. It's just not doing it for me, guys. F433, probably top 2 in TTK if you take out the NVO from that optimal range of 9 meters, like I said. If you're playing REDSEC, if you're using custom weapons from the custom weapon drops, I strongly recommend using a cord and a SCAR, or should I say the SOR. One should be for short range, and that's your cord, and the others, or should I say the SCAR, should be for mid to long ranges. The SOR has amazing bullet velocity of 1,000 and something, 0 spread, less bloom, and guys, the lower optic in zoom you're using, the better the bloom reduction is. So don't go 4 scope, 5 scope, 3 scope. I would actually recommend sticking to something that is at 2-point zoom or less. Don't put it too far because you will experience much bloom, guys. But with that being said, if you feel like I can help you, if you need a recommendation, if you have any questions about the game, about certain weapons, anything, options, settings, please feel free to leave a comment on the video. Let's discuss, let's open a debate, and if I can help, I would really gladly do so, whether it be that with weapons or settings or anything. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like this content, please leave a like, support the channel, subscribe, comment, share. It would really mean a lot to me and I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope to see you again. Stay safe. See you.